Hey guys, Evan Bourcier here, and you're watching vlog number 5. This is actually me re-recording the vlog right now because I did record this episode on Sunday, but I was in New Hampshire and it was on my phone and the Wi-Fi was really bad and I couldn't really upload it, so I was like, I'll just redo it when I get home Tuesday night and throw it up. So this is going to be the quick version of the vlog from a post-production perspective, so sorry it might be a little less polished. So what I want to talk about this time is clients and contracts. So this is something that I've been asked about a lot and kind of wanted to give a little insight on, and this is all my personal kind of perspective on it, and so take it with all the salt you want and feel free to ignore all of it or totally disagree with me, but I get asked all the time about what do you do for like contracts with clients, and the long story short version of it is generally nothing. Unless they're asking for a contract, I avoid contracts. I think that they have a tendency to have the potential for as much negative as good to come of them, and as long as you're working with people you respect, I've never run into any issues. So moral of the story with that being that, you know, like when I first started doing weddings, people would be like, oh, do you have a contract? And like if I did do a contract, it would basically just be, hey, I've agreed to do a video on this date and this is the budget. But I would never put like schedule and stuff on that because I would hate to, you know, be that guy who's like, you know, something interesting is happening at a reception, like, oh, well, the contract says I leave at 9, so I'm out of here. And, you know, if I was a day late on delivering an edit, I'd hope that they weren't like, oh, well, the contract says. So, you know, I think as long as you're communicating well, that doesn't have to be an issue. And as long as you're clarifying and setting a good foundation for people, I haven't run into any issues with it. So I don't think there's anything wrong with contracts. I just don't really do them. Yeah. So the next thing was invoices. People were talking about like budgets and invoicing and client-facing side of that. And the long story short on that is that the client generally only ever sees a total number, and that number is generated by me when we're quoting it, and is pretty much based on experience and gut feelings on what's involved with it. So, you know, any given project, I'm thinking, what do we need to do for pre-production, production, post-production? Who do I have to pay? What gear do we need? How much of my time is it going to take? And so I kind of estimate all that and then add a buffer on there for all the stuff that comes up with, oh, we have to shoot some extra stuff this half day, or some extra gear comes up, or we decide to pay extra for music, or something always comes up. So you give yourself a little buffer, and I give the client that number, and that number's not really based on gear or crew or anything specifically. So like my clients generally don't know if I'm showing up with a Red camera, an Alexa, or a C100, and they generally don't care. Because I just haven't made that important, and they don't know if I'm coming with 5 people or 1 person sometimes. I mean, I'll usually communicate, but it doesn't really have anything to do with the budget. Excuse me, because I think the problem with that is that, you know, some ideas are technically simple, but creatively really involved, and if you've tied all your pricing into just like, this is what it costs for a second shooter and this is what it costs editing per hour, then like you don't give yourself much ability to control the value of the creative, and sometimes that can be the most important thing. So I'm really selling a client on end product, and not on the process. And that's another thing and it's different though. It is different if you're working with industry people. Like if I'm DPing something, you know, people know my day rate, or like if I'm doing a project for another producer, you know, they're gonna get an invoice that says this is what camera rental whatever is, because they know that kind of stuff. But if it's like general client, they don't even know what they're looking at, so it's not really that important. So yeah, that's kind of the long story short version. I'm sure people have questions and some ideas, so I am happy to answer them. Comment and let me know. If you have not gone to the website and checked out the Lazarus breakdowns, you should do that because I think they're really cool. And I'm working on getting the last 2 pieces up tonight. So we've got pre-production and day 1 and 2 of the shoot. I'm putting up day 3 of the shoot and post-production tonight. The post-production one's really cool. There's some stuff in that I've never done before and some really cool people who help make it possible. So check it out at eBourcier.com. Thank you so much for watching this. If you like these things, check out my Patreon. I still have to do a Patreon video, but you can go to patreon.com/eBourcier, and for $15 a month or more that you donate, you get access to an extra set of videos and blog posts and stuff with more information on kind of the nitty-gritty of the day-to-day of what I do and the business side of things. So thanks so much for watching. I'll see you again next week.